Hey guys, welcome back. And I've been driving the hell out of this truck. This thing is amazing. It's everything I wanted it to be. It cruises so good, it makes good power, it sounds amazing, it rides good. I absolutely love this truck. And that means we got to put it to the test again, because I wanted this thing to be a driver, like something I can go out hammer on, but I can just jump in and drive, and that's what it is. But I also wanted to be able to use it for work, be able to tow with it. So now that this thing's set, and I've got the old motor out of the 51, I've got kind of a stockpile of blown motors kind of hanging around. There was the original mock-up motor for this thing, and I've got the donor car for this thing, so I got to run a load of scrap in. So we're going to prep this thing for that, and then we're going to see what it does towing like 6,000 pounds, maybe more. All right, so to prep this thing, the first thing we got to do is put a brake controller on it, because we're going to be towing a trailer and we want to be safe. And if we come around back, I've already kind of got it set up. I've got big old class 5 hitch under here with all the wiring. All it needs is the brake wire run, so we're all set there. But then on the other side is I need to be able to haul all the aluminum in. I got aluminum heads and brackets and everything, so I finally gonna have to put a tailgate on, which I have a tailgate off a newer truck. It's actually a dent side tailgate, but it should work. But there's some missing brackets down here that I'm gonna have to figure out. This side, they're in there, you can see they're threaded, so we got some work to do, but I'm gonna lay the brake controller in, get that all set up, and then figure out how to do the tailgate. And I've got a tailgate, which makes this truck way more usable. It's not exactly right because it's off the 79, but it's good enough for me. I've already loaded a bunch of scrap in the bed that's got to stay separate, and I've got a tow strap hooked to the old 300 here. And we got to get this thing out because I've got 2 engine blocks I got to load in here, and I've got so much stuff in the back seat and in here, like there's the entire trans. I can't actually get underneath the back of it right now. It's like bottomed out on the ground. So I've got the tow strap hooked to the very front of the car. We'll see how this goes. I kind of want it to spin around, but even if it doesn't really matter. And I've only got this much gap, so it might hit me, but I'm counting on the hitch to save that. So this is going to be a mess. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that didn't go bad at all.
Like, I can kind of steer it. I just need it to go 50 feet that way now so we can put 2 blown up engine blocks in it. But not 4 low, I barely even gave it throttle. It just crawled right out. It's that secret dual motor Chrysler 300 they didn't want you to know about, where you get an old school small block and a Hemi at the same time. Better than a Tesla. But hood doesn't really shut quite right. We just got to winch this thing on the trailer and then add like 400 more pounds of steel to it. And then we'll see what the old Ford looks like with all that much weight on the back. But we'll yank it around and we'll get it loaded up. Self-driving car. It goes exactly where I want it.
Apparently, that worked perfectly again.
I know, I don't understand it. All I gotta do is straighten the wheels up and let it roll back. I can put the trailer in front of it. I think this car is just tired of me. It will do anything to get out of my possession. Alright, we're all loaded now. also just, it gives the low end torque. It's really nice. It's kind of like towing with a diesel. So far the chassis feels all right. Pretty darn good. 1700 RPM, 50 mile an hour, just kind of chugging along. Not really in the throttle. We're going uphill, so it's losing a little bit of speed, but it feels good. I mean, we've gone like a half a mile. Definitely needs an alignment. The front end's a little squirrely with the weight on the back. Makes it a little more noticeable, but trailer brakes are working. It feels good. This whole setup weighs, because this thing's rolling out like nothing. Like, it has no problems getting up to speed. Like, partial throttle, she just spools and goes. Like, I know how my stock '06 Hemi truck tows. That's got a 6-speed manual and it's a heavy duty. I'm kind of curious, like, either this thing's really light or this thing, it's a better powertrain. I'm going with that one. That boost is very helpful. This is not a nice road. It's narrow and it's really, really bumpy and rugged, and this thing's taking it pretty well. Too. It's not even getting warm. It's a little booty, but it's not bad. pounds?
That's combined, right?
Yeah. So I just pulled out of the scrapyard. Truck, trailer, everything was 13,000 pounds. Like, so we were pulling 8,000 pounds with this thing, right? 813? I don't know. Probably. That's insane. We were grossing 13,000 with a 67 F100, and this thing was just pulling it like nothing. Like, that's pretty impressive. Well, the GoPro died because it's too hot and overheated on the windshield, so I had to grab my phone now, but we're cruising back empty. This thing does really, really well. I cannot believe that was 13,000 total. Like, this thing just ripped it like nothing. Like, that had to be like an 8,000 pound trailer. And this thing just drove out like pretty much like it was empty. This thing's amazing. Like, this thing just does everything I wanted to, and it's so much fun. It sounds so good. Like, and even with that 2,000 pound trailer behind me, it drives like it's empty. I mean, I'm cruising along pretty good here on a little too late. Actually, I gotta slow down here, but this thing's awesome. The turbo noises that come out of this thing are insane. It sounds so good. And we're back home. And this thing was flawless. No issues the whole time. Like, it just cruised. It's a little wandery, it needs an alignment, but I mean, I was making some time coming back with empty trailer and loaded. It moves out really nice. Let's see what this says. 13,060 pounds is what everything weighed going in there. That's pretty crazy. So we had the 300 weighed 5,300 pounds. That sucker was loaded down. I mean, it had 2 engines and everything in it. Oh, we can figure out how much the truck weighs. Let's do this. Let's see here. This. The guy wishes he was as cool as me. 5,100 pounds is what this thing weighs. Because I know that trailer weighs like 2,000, and I know what I weigh, not saying it's too much. So 5,100 pounds for this thing. Just not bad at all, considering it's got Dana 60s, a cast iron heavy duty trans. Like, still, this thing was 13,000 pounds, and it ripped out like nothing. Like, part throttle, just made boost. It sang. Oh god. This thing tows better than my stock 06 2500 Hemi. I mean, I guess it's the same motor, just this one has a turbo, so it's not really surprising, but this thing just rolls out. I can't believe it was towing a 7,300 pound trailer. Like, 70 plus everything in the bed, 13,000 total. That's insane. I love this truck.